Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by Jeanette McKenzie, Realtor at Forest Hill Signature, Jewelry Forever at jewelryforever.ca, and Beautified by Romina. Enjoy the show.
Broadcasting live from Glenmore Record Studios in Toronto, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, your Sunday morning talk show with interesting guests, live musical performances, and the most fun you can fit in your coffee cup. Hosted by Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of 2023. A brand new year is upon us, and who knows what journey we will embark upon. What encounters will we encounter? Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 207.
I don't know.
Is it 207?
Okay.
Great start.
Sorry.
I think it's 207. Let me check. 207 of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. I'm your host, the one, the only Scott Dion Brown, and I'm joined, as always, by just the greatest co-host in all the galaxy, the one, the only
Regine Alaina, happy Sunday. Happy New Year, everyone. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Happy New Year, Regine.
It's been 3 weeks since we've been on air. It's been 3 weeks since we've seen the sunshine. So it's a great Sunday.
It feels kind of weird. Every time I take a break from the show, the first day back, I'm always like, how do we, even like all the technical stuff, I was like, how do we do this again? How does this?
When we take a break from the show, it just doesn't feel
feel right.
Yeah, like I was on vacation. I was like, man, I should tune into the sit down.
Yeah.
There was no sit down.
Yep. There was only standing up, Regine. And that's sad.
I was standing up a lot though while we were gone, so I'm not complaining.
Right. Well, you just got back from is it the happiest place on earth?
The most magical place on earth. Yes.
Yeah.
I was just in sunny Florida. Orlando. We went to Disney. We went to Universal. It was magical.
Sounds wonderful. I want to hear about it, but I think maybe we should bring in our guest first.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is he's
basically like a third chair person.
Yeah, he pretty much lives on this show, really.
Yeah.
Is he the most guest or not? But he's
not yet.
Not yet. But hey, we're working on it. But he has been on here quite a few times. He's an actor, filmmaker, podcaster.
Dad.
He's a dad. He's not very good at airport security, though.
What?
He's not good at airport security.
Interesting.
He lets things through that shouldn't. Yeah, see, he's known for that.
I have no idea what you're talking
But despite that, he's still good at all the other stuff, so that's pretty good. Everybody, please give a warm sit-down welcome to the one, the only, Michael Chan.
Woo!
Hey!
Hi, Michael. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy to be back.
Welcome back.
Your lovely faces.
Yours too.
What?
I live here, so apparently I see you all the time.
Yes, that's
It is
right.
now my goal in 2023 to be the guest who's been on your show the most. So
Okay, then.
you guys are just going to have to schedule me back.
I mean, Michael, I do feel like I see you everywhere. I see you on the subway. I see you at the post office. Your face is literally everywhere.
It's surreal because I had no idea my Trintelix print ad was going to be coming out at this time because it was like the photos were taken in 2021. So
Oh wow.
I was like, okay, you know what? Probably it's like an internal pamphlet or some like material they hand out when they want to prescribe Trintellix. So I would never see it, but then now it's everywhere. So
Yeah,
I'm quite
sorry.
happy.
So side story for our viewers and Scott, I was on the subway and like a couple weeks ago actually, and Michael was in front of me on an ad, and I took a picture. I'm like, hey, look, it's you.
Thank you for that. You're the
welcome.
one who alerted me to it.
That is the thing about when you do print work. Actually, TV is they're all kind of like that, but I find especially with print work, it's like you go there and they do the shoot, and then you really have to like really push hard to find out anything about it. They really don't prioritize letting like the talent ever know when it's actually going to show up. So
Yeah,
it's just exactly what happens. Somebody sees you and you're like, oh, okay, I guess that's out there now.
yeah. Well, I mean, the pandemic has messed up the TV schedule a little bit. Like I shot an episode of Blood and Treasure season 2 back at the beginning of 2020. And then the pandemic happened and they just kept delaying and delaying the release of season 2. And eventually, I'm pretty sure fans had given up on the show. They're like, yeah, it's not happening. Even though Paramount was like, no, it's coming. And then out of nowhere, it started airing last year on Paramount Plus, like streaming. And I only found out because I just decided one day to do a search, and it's like, it's streaming right now. I'm like, wait, what?
Surprise!
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes it a happy surprise. I guess you're like, oh,
It was.
Especially if it gets to the point where you've practically forgotten about it, or even been like, oh, okay, I guess that's not going to be anywhere, and then suddenly, oh, well, look at that. There's that thing.
Yeah.
Michael,
So about airport security, Regine,
Yeah.
Scott was talking about the episode of Mayday that we were on, where I allowed his character to go through, even though he had, what was it, gasoline in your bag?
Yes, I had in fact, that's where we met, right? Did we meet on that show?
Yeah, we met on Mayday. Yeah,
That was the beginning. Yeah.
I saw your very, very sexy face, and I was like, yeah, this guy has to be my friend.
And that's why he let me through airport security.
Yeah, it was just, I was smitten. But
so wait.
true story about me and airport security. So after 9/11, my mom and I went to San Francisco to visit our family, our relatives, and on the way back to Toronto in the airport at San Francisco, I was pulled out of security, like the scanner line, and then surrounded by soldiers and had rifles pointed at my head.
Wait, what?
Jeez. This is like right afterwards, yeah? Like very close to after?
It's like maybe 8 months afterwards.
Yeah. Things were really, really paranoid at that
How
time.
old
Yeah,
were
so
you?
they were
first off?
pointing guns at me, and I was like, what is going on? They put my backpack in front of me. They're like, open that bag. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I open, my mom's like freaking out. And so I open my own backpack, and they're like, pull that shiny thing out. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh.
So I hold it up, and they're like, what is that? I'm like, it's a DVD.
What?
What was on the DVD though, Mike?
And then they're like, a DVD. I'm like, yeah. Well, read it. I'm like, it says, "Oh my goddess." It's a Japanese anime. An anime what?
Oh my god!
It's not. Is it a religious thing? No.
You should have been like, yes. Now leave me alone.
Wow. No, you couldn't do that
I
then.
said it was religious. They'd shoot me.
Oh yeah, true.
Wow.
Sorry. And I watch it religiously. That's why I have a DVD of it.
No, it was. They pulled me out because they thought I was a terrorist for having an oh my goddess blue DVD.
A lot of paranoia at that time. I mean,
so I don't do well at security.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually, when I was on my way to Florida, they actually, you know how they like sometimes do like random spot checks? I was called for a spot check, and I'm like, why?
you look suspicious, Regine.
I guess so. They're like, you here. So we had to go, and they did one of those like swabby things where they swab the inside of your bag, and they're like, oh, you're clean. I'm like,
Yeah,
no shiz, of course I'm clean.
I've had my stuff swabbed a few times.
But I'm
you know,
like-
my electronics or whatever.
But I'm like, do I look that sus? Like, Did I
Yes,
just
Regine.
smile by accident to the wrong person?
It's like she's up to something.
She's smiling at me. Let's get rid of her.
But that must have been scary. They actually had the guns. They actually had the guns trained on you, like pointed right at you.
That's terrifying.
That's crazy to think about.
So wait, when you were, I guess, did that like trigger anything when you were on set being in that role? Roles reversed?
No.
Okay, good.
The roles were reversed. Yeah. In fact, that's
I
the
don't
other.
know. It's one of those things that now that I'm older, I laugh at. But
The time
I
it was
mean,
definitely
obviously
scary.
when I was younger, that was pretty traumatizing.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know, like especially since like soon afterwards there was like a news article about a soldier at the San Francisco airport accidentally shooting himself with his own gun. So
Yeah. How
I don't know.
was that when he was like pulling it out of his bag or something?
Something like that. I don't even remember. I just remembered I saw that in a newspaper. I was like, oh, thank God that they didn't accidentally pull the trigger on me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But you know, no disrespect to American soldiers. It's just I get it. I get the paranoia. I mean, hell, they thought when I was in New York City with my mom, I had to take out my laptop and get it swabbed when we were getting on the ferry to go to see the Statue of Liberty because they thought it was, some kind of a remote trigger or something, and they made me like turn it on and everything.
Yep.
Wow.
And it was Linux, so they were like, "What is this?"
Oh yeah, they wouldn't even recognize the OS or whatever.
It's Linux. What? Linux. Is that some kind of Windows? It's operating system.
Yes, it's some kind of Windows. Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Well, open something, do something. I open Office on it. See, I'm typing.
Wait, why did you bring your laptop to
Well, he probably just had brought his laptop. He was
Want to
traveling.
do some homework?
So back then, I had like one of those micro laptops with the 7-inch screen. That's why I was running Linux. It didn't even have enough power to run Windows back then. And I used it mainly for word processing because I needed it for work. But I also kept a diary. So, like, when I was on the ferry, I was typing furiously about them not knowing what Linux was and getting really scared.
Yep.
Oh no.
We've been just seeing, our episode of Mayday is even showing how much it's changed in that. So my character, spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it's been a few years now. My character gets caught. Doesn't get caught, but I'm bringing on 2 big jugs of bleach. They're the bleach bottles, and then the reason that he doesn't catch me is because I'm like, oh no, it's just bleach. I need it for cleaning, but it's actually full of gasoline. So they let me bring gasoline on. But the thing is now, you couldn't bring 2 jugs of bleach onto a plane. Like you just can't do that.
You can't bring anything with liquid, really, like that big.
Well, you have to
small little things that you put in a plastic bag, right, for like meds and stuff.
Yep.
But nothing as big as what you had.
He's like a bunch of little 1 liter.
These are all my small
mini
not 1
gasoline.
liter. What's it called?
No more than 100 milliliters of gasoline in
1
each.
slow ounce.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got pulled into
battery.
in grade 9, grade 8. I can't remember what grade it was.
Gasoline on there.
No, not great. But I got pulled into one of those rooms in security. We were on our Europe trip in high school, and in Europe you can buy these like fake model guns all over the place.
Oh, Scott.
So I had bought like a flintlock pistol looking one, and then my other friend had bought like it looks like a modern handgun, and it has like working mechanics, like you can pull it open and shoot plastic BBs, and he like had his in his bag, and I had my flintlock pistols in my bag, and we both got pulled into this room. I remember it was like you go in and like for some reason it was like underneath the escalator. Now they didn't have their guns pointed at us, but they were the entire room, like the entire perimeter of the room was covered in guys, and they all had guns, but they weren't pointing at us. They were all just kind of standing there, and they're like, "Whose bag is this?" And then my friend pulls out his, and they're like, "Fire it!" And I was like, "Okay, it's a plastic, right?" And then I showed him my flintlock pistols. They're like, "Okay, don't do it again." Okay, bye.
Oh, Scott.
Wait, they let you take it home?
Yeah, they let me have it. Yeah.
When my parents and I went to Orlando when I was a kid, they got me a flintlock pistol thingy from Pirates of the Caribbean, like the ride.
Yeah.
And the airport security like confiscated it.
Maybe it's based off where he's coming from, because you're coming from Europe.
Yeah, but I would also say I also think it was probably very different in U.S. security than in Europe, because obviously things got tightened.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, like things got tightened in Europe, but not to the extent that they got tightened in the U.S. So it was like, you know, I don't know, maybe pre 9/11 they wouldn't have even.
I remember going to Italy; it was pretty lax. But
Yeah,
this was like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah, it's yeah, I think it's still like that. Like I find for sure. I mean, even now, it's like you just know. Okay, I'm going to the U.S. I need to leave an extra hour or more for security. It's just not the same when you're going anywhere else. So it's just.
Actually, when I went through security in the U.S., it was a lot easier. Well, I had all the apps downloaded on my phone, which made it very easy.
Yeah, you got to do the pre-check-in now. Yeah, when we went to New York, it wasn't too bad.
I barely spoke to anyone.
Yeah, I just find there's more to do, right? Like, if you're not going to the U.S., you almost never have to take your shoes off. So into the U.S., they're like, no, we need to see those bare feet.
Toes.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Hey, good start to the show.
Good start.
Great start.
What I love
Good job,
how we have.
Scott.
Thanks. Yeah, you too. Yeah, we got good start.
We got
to the
a
chat.
whole list of
Yeah,
things
we had some things I wanted to ask you about because
Sure.
you have been busy, and I know that this show does have the tendency to we like talk about. We always have a pre-show like, what should we talk about? Oh, we'll talk about this, this, and this, and then the show ends. And it's like, so did we reach any things on the list? No, none of them actually.
That's why you have to have him back.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the game. That's the
game. That's the game.
We had like all these things written down. So.
Yeah. Okay, but I did want to ask you about some stuff because you've got some cool things happening. Tell us a little bit about. Well, let's talk about first about the Love Club.
Oh my goodness, yes. So the Love Club is a W Network series of films. There's going to be 4 of them every Monday starting in February. And it just centers around 4 like friends who have trouble with love. So through that, their friendship gets their bonds get stronger, and each movie follows one of the friends. So I'm in the 4th one, airing Monday, February 27th on the W Network. It's the Love Club Tara story.
Cool. So
now it's not a huge role, but it's a lot of fun. It's a good scene. Awesome. I know. I like. There's no such thing as a small role, in my opinion, because like as long as you do really well and they like you know obviously will get more auditions and stuff, right?
Yep.
But I don't know. I really enjoyed working on that set. It was a lot of fun. We were in Hamilton, and it's just it was just a really good atmosphere.
Amazing. So February. Sorry, give me the date one more time. February
27th.
February 27th
on Monday. Yeah.
So do you have to watch the first few to like? Is it continuous story, or is it just like
it would help to watch
it
in order? Yes.
So it starts the first Monday of February?
Yes. Sorry, I have it in my email. February 6th.
Okay.
Is Monday, February 6th is the Love Club, Nicole's story.
What time?
Wow. They don't even tell me on my thingy.
So stay tuned.
We'll find it. I'm sure they can.
Sorry, I'm now watching the trailer, and I don't know why they don't say the time. Never mind. It's just look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up, people.
No,
all right.
I am so sorry. I wish their website actually. I'm on their Facebook, and it just says starting February 6th. I'm like,
it's probably dependent on like what region you are. Like each time zone probably has a different.
That's true.
Start time.
That's true.
But it's the W Network.
W Network.
So now I'm a W Network star.
Incredible.
Look at you.
Incredible. So it's one of those things where like, I guess each one like you got Nicole's story. So it's like each one is its own individual movie, but it's got all the same actors, and it's each one is sort of starring a different character from that cast. Is that the idea?
The friend group, yeah. They follow one of the friends in each movie, and actually not the one I'm in, but like one of the movie follows a character played by Lily Gao, who's by the way an amazing actor. And if you are nerdy enough, you'll know she is Ada Wong in the Resident Evil movies. So, so I had no scenes of her, but I was lucky enough to bump into her on set, and she was just lovely, just lovely to talk to. And admittedly, I had, butterflies in my stomach because I'm a fan. I kept it in check, so she had no idea.
You were like, "Hey, fellow actor, it's totally normal for me to see you."
Beings.
I love that.
Nice. All right, there you go. People, watch for him in the Love Club. Start watching February 6th, so you're all caught up for his episode at the end of February. Get on it. Get on it. Next thing I wanted to ask you about, we did talk about it briefly, but last time, but we couldn't talk about it too much because at that time, only your first episode had aired, but you are a part of the, and in my opinion, maybe the most important part, okay, of the Star Trek universe. So let's talk about what it's like.
You're a meme.
Well, yeah, you are in a meme as well.
Oh my God, I'm a meme.
You're a meme.
But tell us what it's like to be part of the Star Trek Discovery world, the Star Trek universe.
Well, it's a dream come true, really. Like I've been a Trekkie since I don't even remember a time in my life that I didn't have Star Trek because my mom introduced it to me at such a young age. And I've always wanted to be in Star Trek, but I didn't think that I would be an actor until I was in university, right? And even then, I didn't think about being in Star Trek because it wasn't filming in Toronto. So, but then Discovery comes, and I'm pretty sure I touched on this last time, but like I immediately got on. Like I went to my agent. I'm like, you got to get me in this. Like this is it. This is my goal. I've never had big goals before. I always say I just want a role here, a role there, whatever. I don't roles. I just want a book. But now I want Star Trek. So yeah, we dedicated a lot of energy into crafting a demo reel, a career basically that would support the me as someone that Star Trek would want to book. And I'm very happy to say it worked. And that even though my character doesn't really have a name, he's a recurring character. So I'm in 2 episodes.
Well, your character doesn't have a name?
Well, I mean, they don't, because they don't actually refer to him, I guess, by a name in the show.
They'll be like, "Hey, you, come here."
There are characters who have less lines and less screen time than mine that actually have a name. Like I auditioned for one of them. And I won't say which one. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but like that character had a name, but he like died really quickly. So yet my character in 2 episodes, along with Emmanuel John's security officer, so the 2 of us appear together in both episodes. We both are just I'm FHQ ops officer, and he is FHQ security officer.
Well, you know what? That's still pretty friggin' cool.
But if you were to give your character
I'm not complaining. Like I love that I am part of the universe, that I exist in the universe, that I'm on the Memory Alpha fan wiki site for Star Trek, and that, that's essentially my legacy for now, at least.
That's awesome.
That I am part of that universe. And and it's crazy because like I wanted to be a Starfleet officer, and then I auditioned for non-Starfleet officers too, but I got what I wanted. I'm a Starfleet officer.
What is
and a comms officer at that? Like my position is comms, like Uhura, which is fantastic, which is something else that I really wanted. Like I figured if I were ever in Starfleet, I'd be a comms officer. So
okay, for us non-Star Trek people, what is that?
What is a Starfleet officer? Oh yeah.
Starfleet is like, the people who are on in the Federation of Planets, United Federation of Planets, and Starfleet's like essentially their military / exploration arm. Yeah. So all the ships that you see in the show, like that, like the Enterprise or the Discovery, those are all Starfleet ships. Yeah. Deep Space Nine is a Starfleet, deep space station.
Yeah.
And all that. So
and Michael is a communications officer on one of those ships in Starfleet.
On the Federation headquarters, which is now a ship, essentially. It's a space station that can fly.
Oh, okay.
And that can move, and that could go into warp and everything. And it's in the 32nd century, which is like far future of Star Trek.
That's cool. My friend was on that show too.
Oh, really?
Sweet.
Also, I think oh no, wait.
Dana was.
Yeah, Dana was on, but she was in the what's the other Star Trek show? The one that's got
Strange New World?
Yes, Dana was an alien in Strange New World.
Sweet. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are in both Discovery or Strange New Worlds, and it's exciting. Like when I watch, like, because I'm watching Strange New Worlds right now, I'm catching up, and like just to see everybody on it, like Rachel Sellen and Ian Ho, you know, it's just amazing. Because I'd just be like, oh my god, yeah, or Ian Rayburn, you know, like Ian Rayburn's episode was great, but anyways, like it's just, I'm sorry, now I'm just being super happy for my friends.
No, that's
but yeah,
great.
like it was a great experience, and I feel like Star Trek has, even though it's again not a huge role or anything, but it's the thing that keeps on giving for me because like I was able to, for example, just randomly meet a community of Star Trek fans on TikTok, like
That's
last
awesome.
October-ish. And like we've been chatting and stuff, and they've been very supportive of not just my Trek career, but like, you know, checking all the other stuff I do. And, you know, like a couple of them sent me Christmas cards, and it's been, yeah, it's been amazing.
That's so cool.
So yeah, it's one of the best things to happen to my career, like in my career.
Did I see you were able to attend? Did you go to some conventions as well? I think you were at something you posted on Instagram.
I went to a convention, but not for Star Trek. I just I was at Fan Expo last year with Justin Wu, who's a phenomenal director on Kim's Convenience, Run the Burbs, and just a wonderful Chinese director. And yeah, we were just there together, and I was because he's never been, so I helped him look for his like the room that he was going to do his panel in and all that, and it was great. And then we met LeVar Burton at his autograph table, and that was who's Geordie LaForge in The Next Generation,
also Star Trek.
Yeah, also Star Trek.
Just letting.
And one of my favorite characters, Geordie LaForge, is one of my all-time favorite characters in Star Trek, and it was just, and he's also the guy who does Reading Rainbow. Regine, I don't know.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
There you go. So LeVar's like not just one of my favorite characters. His character is one of my favorite characters. He's one of my favorite like actors / celebrities. So it was just so good to be able to meet him and to tell him that like he is part of like the reason why I was so inspired to want to be a Starfleet officer. And once I had the opportunity to pursue it as aggressively as I did, because I wanted to be like him. You know, a Starfleet officer, and you know, I ended up in the yellow, which is the operations color, and just like Geordie. So,
so cool. And you were able to tell him that you're
yeah, I told him.
Awesome. So you were like, "Hey, fellow actor, how's it feel for us both to be equals on this show? Am I right?"
I wouldn't say.
Imagine.
Come on, man. He's head of engineering.
Hello, fellow colleague. Hey, colleague. That's really cool. It's very cool. Oh, we should do the ads. Okay, we're going to quickly do the ads, and then we got lots more to talk about, Michael. So
all right.
Nobody go anywhere. But ladies and gentlemen, today's episode of The Sit Down, this first episode of 2023, this brand new journeying where nobody has gone before, Regine.
Welcome to our communications center.
Exactly. 2023 begins with these amazing advertisers, people. Ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto real estate market is growing and changing every day. In these challenging times, you need someone in your corner. Jeanette McKenzie, Realtor at Forest Hill Signature, is committed to looking out for you. She'll go the extra mile to ensure you have all the information you need to make a decision you can feel confident about. Purchasing a home is one of the biggest financial investments you'll make in life. Don't leave it to chance. Call Jeanette McKenzie at Forest Hill Signature. She's my realtor, and she could be yours. Call today at 416-523-0408 or email at jmckenziehomes@gmail.com. Jewelry forever. Conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East, Markham. They do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and change watch batteries, all done on site. And we have an amazing deal worked out with them, don't we, Regine?
We do. If you go into the store and let them know that Scott and Regine sent you, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase.
That's right, 15% off. Mention the show, tell them Scott and Regine sent you, and you'll get a great deal. Jerry at Jewelry Forever is a fantastic artist. He specializes in custom-made jewelry. If you have a vision for something custom you'd like created, he is the man to make it. So get in touch, Jewelry Forever. Find out more at jewelryforever.ca, and also find them on TikTok at Jewelry Forever. Beautified by Romina.
Internationally trained hair and makeup artist. She is the official hair and makeup artist of the Sit Down, as well as my own personal hair and makeup artist. She does everything from fashion shows to headshots, professional, or just for fun. She does pageants, weddings, baby showers, date nights,
live events.
Yes. Anything you need, she can do it for you.
Official makeup artist of the Sit Down. She's done my makeup, and she could do yours.
Reach out to her on Instagram or Facebook at Beautified by Romina.
And if you would like to advertise on the show, it's very easy, right, Regine?
It's simple. All you guys have to do is email us at radioshowad, that's radioshowad@gmail.com.
That's right. We do the show live every week, people, and we also do the ads live week to week. What does that mean? It means you can personalize them week to week. Do you have an event, a sale, something happening at a particular time, particular place? You let us know. We let your potential client base know in real time. It's a great way to build a brand new relationship with a brand new audience. Get in touch, Radio Show AD, Radio Show Ad at gmail.com. And we're back.
Can I just say it's a little scary how in sync we are today?
Yeah, we got several.
Gotta stop.
We're starting the year off right, Regine. We're starting the year off right. People, if you're just tuning in, we are here with the wonderful Michael Chan. It's right there on the screen with us. Michael, so he's part of the Star Trek universe, the Love Club. You can watch him next month. Something about...
he's got a new podcast coming out.
Well, it's not...
Well, not new.
Not new, but...
Season 2
Season
of
2,
my podcast.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So last year, I started a new podcast with co-host Alex Blackburn from the UK. He's a phenomenal film editor, filmmaker, cinematographer, and he is the producer of the Hellbound Horror Film Festival. So we started the Hellbound podcast, which is just a horror podcast. We talk about everything horror, not just like film and TV, but like sometimes I talk about like horror merchandise, toys, video games, books, board games, anything we can talk about. Mind you, because we're both in film and TV, we talk a lot about film and TV. And we've been releasing episodes like every single Wednesday, which has been a lot of fun. But we are about to, so we're on a short hiatus, and then we're going to start up again in February.
Nice.
On February 1st. And that'll be our first episode of season 2. I didn't even know we were going to have seasons, but Alex, like, you know what? Since we're taking a break, let's just call everything before season 1, and then we'll jump into season 2. I'm like, yeah. But something else we're also doing is every Saturday, we're going to start, and that starts on February 4th, we're going to start doing like 5-minute episodes. They're just like mini reviews. So it's either myself or Alex or both, just picking one movie or show and just doing like a really, really quick review of it, and then whether we recommend it or not. So sometimes it'll overlap with our main show. So some of the stuff we may have talked about on the main show we'll bring to the weekend. Just to be like, watch this film. It's good. Here's why. For anyone who, doesn't want to spend 25 minutes listening to our Wednesday episode. But mostly it's just to talk about, like, review anything that we don't really have time to review or haven't reviewed yet.
That can be cool. Then it can work as sort of a resource, just like okay, well, this movie's coming out, should I check it out? And then they kind of check out what you guys thought.
Yeah, especially like you said, yeah, like this is out now, should you check it out? Because sometimes, like, especially since I'm still not going to movie theaters right now, it's hard for me to actually see anything recent, and I'm not going to pirate, so um so yeah, I can't really do those reviews, so it's more on Alex to just be like, hey, I saw it, and this is what I think.
Cool. Where can people find the Hellbound podcast?
We are on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and basically any podcast platform that you like to listen on.
Awesome.
Search it up, people, every Wednesday and Saturdays for the shorts. Starting, you said next month?
Yeah, February 1st is our first episode in season 2.
Sweet. All right. And next, I wanted to ask you about.
You got this whole. We gotta save some for the next time he's on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But I did want to ask you about this thing. Tell us about this film that's got to do with creatures that swim underwater, but this one has been put in captivity in a bowl, if you will.
Nice segue. So yes, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but because last time it was in post-production, but last year in January we filmed a film that it was my first producing credit, and it's called Fishbowl. It's a short film, and it's kind of like a bit of a fever dream rock and roll drug addiction kind of thing with a horror twist to it. Trying not to give too much away, but it's heavily inspired by the Kurt Cobain story. So that's where we're at, and since we released it onto the festival circuit, it has done extremely well. We were at Nightmares Film Festival in Ohio, where we were nominated for a writing award. We were at Blood in the Snow in Toronto. And in December, we went to New York City for the New York City Horror Film Festival, where we won the Audience Choice Awards, which is
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely bonkers, because we they have like the in-person component and the online component. So we actually didn't even nobody knew who won that award until like maybe a couple of weeks after the festival, because the online portion ran for an extra 2 weeks. And we basically competed against everything. Every single film they had at that festival, we competed against for this one award. And we never tried to campaign. We didn't tell people to go watch, like nothing, because what are the odds that a short film would even have a chance to win that? And yet people watched and voted for us enough that we won. And so for us, this is like a big achievement, because it's a huge passion project of ours. We self-funded the whole thing, and it was hard work, and there is a crazy story to come out of it, and that's the birth of my son.
Was he born in a fishbowl?
No, but he was born 3 weeks early. So we had scheduled the filming of Fishbowl to be when it was in January, because my son was expected to be born on Valentine's Day. And so we had everything planned out. Like, we did a lot of prep to film, because it was a 1-day shoot in a studio that was rather expensive for us in Hamilton, and it's far away. There was a significant portion of our team that's from like the east. On like Peterborough area, and then Hamilton's pretty far west. So it was 1 day, and so oh boy, the night before, I went down to my condo, and I was like up until 3 a.m. like putting together craft services, because due to COVID, everything has to be individually packaged, et cetera, right? And I also had a ton of equipment in my car as well. And I was down in the condo, because my condo's in Toronto. I live north. My home is north of Toronto, and it would have taken longer. So I did everything in Toronto. And at 3 a.m, my wife calls me and it's like, honey, I'm having contractions, I think, and it's pretty consistent. I'm like, wait, what? but it's January.
Yeah.
She's like, no, like I need to go to the hospital.
Oh, shucks.
So I leave a frantic message for my co-producer and our executive producer, and then go home and drive my wife to Sunnybrook. And while she's going through that, I'm also on the phone once everyone started waking up and getting my messages. And we had to pivot, because as I wasn't just co-producing, I was line producing, and very hands-on. I had multiple positions on set as well, because when you do an indie short film or indie anything, right, a lot of people have more than one position. So like I had a lot to do on set. And I had our equipment. So first things first, we had to figure out who to delegate my roles to. Also, I called one of my best friends, Tamish, who's never done anything in the film industry. He works for the government. But like we needed extra hands. I was like, buddy, you've always been curious about the film industry, and my son is about to be born. It's the weekend. Do you have time to, I don't know, go over to Hamilton and be a PA and just do whatever they tell you to do? He's like, yeah, man. So he really like did me a solid by going to Hamilton from Scarborough and helping my team out. We also got another person from Peterborough, Phil, who also, same as Tamish, has no experience. So he ended up helping us as well. So thank you, Tamish and Phil. And somehow like things started to really come together. But then there's the problem of the stuff in my car. And by the time that we were able to get into the studio, my son had not been born yet. And I didn't want to miss his birth, but my wife was like, look, this is why I love her. She's like, honey, you have all this stuff. All this money has been spent. You need to go. Just go to Hamilton, drop the stuff off, and come back. I'm like, but it's going to be like 2 and something hours, 3. Like, what if I miss his birth? And she's like, just go, because the longer we argue, the chances are you're going to miss it. So I rushed from the hospital to Hamilton, and what's even worse was that day a train had broke down in the middle of Hamilton. The tracks go through Hamilton, splitting kind of the downtown area and the studio area. So I had to actually drive around the train to get to the studio, where I dropped everything off. And then they were missing some stuff. So I had to drive back around to downtown to go to a pharmacy to pick up extra stuff, go back around the train, go to the studio, then go back around the train and come back to Toronto. My son was born 2 hours after I got to the hospital.
Wow.
You know what? This whole story sounds like a movie.
It does.
So,
This should be your next film.
It is. And let me tell you, like, we finished the filming. The only things we didn't get were the behind the scenes photos that we were hoping, because I was also on set photographer, and all we have now are cell phone photos from various people on set. So, and we couldn't get like professional shots of the characters for the poster or anything. Mind you, we got an incredible artist to go and do Steve to go do the poster. And anyways, that it worked out, but it's just insane that we got this done. And our $15,000 film looks like $1 million and is winning awards. Like, this is nuts. But
definitely a day you'll never forget.
It's a day we'll never forget. But also, it proves one thing. Like, I know everyone always hears, we'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. No, you fix it in prep. If our team did not prepare as well as we did, I'm pretty sure my son being born would have completely derailed the whole thing. Right?
True.
But so this, I just want to say, it speaks to the incredible amount of work that every single person on the Fishbowl team put in to prepare for that day, so that when something went wrong, and something always goes wrong, but in our case, really wrong, that we still pulled through. And now we have this incredible piece of art that is kicking butt.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story, Michael, if you ever have a third child, do not plan a movie a month before. Give yourself extra time.
Well, no, it worked out fine. If anything,
I don't know if I ever
doing
want
that.
to do that again. We do have another, my company, Psychopomp Dreams Entertainment, has another film that we're looking to film in April of this year. So
Do you have another baby on the way? No, just kidding.
My God, no. I don't think we can't handle 3.
You're like,
right
not
now.
that I know of.
No, no, I know. God. 2 is enough for now. 3, I don't know. I know my wife wants 3, but neither of us are ready for that. I wanted to, so I'm happy. But it's more about if I ever change my mind, and right now I don't want to change my mind, but if I ever change my mind, it would have to be maybe after our son's like 2 or 3 years old, because we need to get the hang of having 2 kids, and also having one, our daughter, who's 4 years old, turning 5 this year. She
already,
she has a condition. Yeah, she's big, and she has a condition. She has special needs, so I always say it's like having 2.5 kids, right? Because it's some extra work. So we need to determine whether a 3rd child would be possible.
And I think it's better to spread them out anyways.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, if we do have a 3rd, like with our daughter being older, it would be better, because she would have developed a lot more cognitively, especially, which is where she's really, really behind due to her conditions. So at least if she's older and more aware, and there are things that she's able to do by then maybe a 3rd would be possible. But for now, it's 2. And
That's so dad.
Yeah.
And so we won't have a baby being born
in April,
unless it's someone else's baby being born.
There you go. Exactly. There's always someone on your crew.
When we film, someone else is pregnant.
But even then, you can be like, "I've dealt with this, guys. Wait, what? A baby? Come on.
We know what to do."
Exactly.
But the train, on the other hand,
oh yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, that's just an extra.
The amount of stuff was incredible. It was bad.
Like, it was January, so there's like things that could have gone wrong, like a snowstorm, but it was the train. Like,
it was a train. Of all things, it was a train. Yeah.
I mean, it is Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yes, no shade to Hamilton, but
it was Hamilton.
It was Hamilton.
Well, I guess so all this time we spent talking about it, where can people find this movie? It's on the festival circuit right now, you said?
It's still in the festival circuit. We don't have any festivals announced currently, but should anything pop up, just go to my my Instagram, which is at MichaelCW Chan, and you'll get more announcements about Fishbowl and where you can watch it next.
Award-winning short film, people, and a lot of sweat and blood, sweat, and tears went into that bad boy.
A lot of blood from my wife, yes.
Oh my God. He went there.
I went there.
Michael.
Hey, that's why she gets a thank you credit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both her and our son. Our son's the set baby credit.
Yeah,
but my wife has the special thanks credit, because without her, like that
equipment would have not made it to the studio.
No, and because I wasn't gonna go, I was not gonna go.
Yeah.
But she pushed, and I'm so grateful to her. Like, literally pushed and pushed. No, like,
poor Jessica's like, why are you talking about
Jessica
me?
I just cannot describe how amazing of a wife and a person that she is. Her support of my career, my art, has been just she's so supportive and always there for me, and without her I don't think I can be where I am. So I owe a lot to her.
That's amazing.
She's a keeper.
Love wins.
2023 started. Are you one to make New Year's resolutions? Are you a New Year's resolution person? Any big plans? Any stuff happening? What do you?
I used to. But I've come to realize that resolutions I don't keep. Goals, on the other hand, I do. It's a different thing. I just don't think the idea of sweeping changes is something that works for me. I set goals and I work on it over time. And if I don't finish it this year, at some point I will. Right? Like Star Trek was one of my goals, and that took years to come about. Right? So, you know, I obviously have a lot of goals regarding my career. You know, what kind of roles I want to book this year. I also have goals as a parent. You know, I want to be well, one of the things, and I'm embarrassed to say this, our son's bedroom still isn't ready for him to
Don't be
he co-sleeps with us. So he went from bassinet to co-sleeping with us, and basically I sleep on the edge of the bed, my wife sleeps on the other edge of the bed, and he takes up the rest.
He's just like, this is my bed.
This is mine. Yeah. But he eventually needs to get into his own space. He wants to move around, and you know, older he gets, the more he's not going to want to be there in our room.
And you want your own space too.
Oh, absolutely. But that room, like the room that's supposed to be his, has always been our office. So it has a lot of stuff.
You got this, Michael. We believe in you.
So, yeah. So there's goals like that, and just yeah. So that's my year.
I like that though. I think that's a good attitude, because people really hype up like, okay,
like you.
Well, no, but I've kind of evolved in that as well. In that, you know, it's not. For me, if anything, I might use January as like a time to like renew. Like, okay, you know, I wanted to do like how I said like last year, last episode we decided to choose one word to describe 2022, and I chose good, because I was like, I did pretty good, but not as good as I wanted to be, you know. But I do like the approach Michael has there, where it's like, yeah, okay, you're moving towards something, so just keep moving towards it, you know. So for me, January is like an opportunity to like, okay, renew my, you know, passion for it a little bit. But
I mean, I did do like a kind of like a check-in on myself. Like, where am I? You know, go through the stuff on my phone, like the list of stuff I always have that I need to do, and see where I'm at on all of that. And, you know, check in on my goals, like which ones did I achieve last year, if any, and which ones I still have, and what new ones do I want to set now that I've achieved some. I will say this: last year was the best year of my acting career. Like,
nice.
I like this. The goals I set at the beginning of last year were, my agents and I worked hard on them and blew every single one out of the water. And I kept trying to set new ones, and my agent would find a way to get me the opportunities to then blow those ones away too.
You got a good agent.
Yeah.
So no, I love my like, I'm happy to be part of the Hero Artists family. Just Jessica and Brienne are phenomenal agents, and like I just cannot believe that switching from my previous agent to them would have gotten me such a drastic change in trajectory. But here I am. And so this year, I don't know if it will be as good as last year per se, because of certain aspects of last year that I can't really talk about since I'm NDA'd.
Nice.
So I guess I just hope that, let's just say, well, I mean, this was announced. I booked a lead role in a TV show that's coming out here at some point.
Yeah.
So I can't say much more, but I
That's
obviously
exciting.
hope for a season 2 of that. There is
lead
another
people,
show.
lead role. Yeah.
Yes. So, it's a lead role in a TV show that's coming out. I don't know when, because they have to make the announcement. And once they make the announcement, you guys can have me back and we'll talk about it.
That's so exciting. You know what I love is seeing, because we've had Michael on a few times now.
Yes.
Like almost a handful, if not a handful of times. But it's so great to listen to you talk about the journey of acting that you've been on, and of filmmaking. Like every time you come on, like you said, the next time you come on, we'll talk about your lead role, where in the past it's like, okay, how did you and Scott meet? Or what are you working on now? And now it's like you're in this momentum and we see it on your Instagram and your Facebook, and it's so great to see. So I'm super stoked for you.
Thank you. But just for our listeners and for any actors who are listening now or maybe in the future, I'm in my 17th year as an actor. So it's not like this happened quickly for me. I know some actors are luckier and have things happen quicker, but this career, and Scott, I know you know this, is a matter of dedication, discipline, and perseverance, because it's up and down. And you know, it took me 16 years to get a lead role in a show. That's not easy, and but it's typical. Most actors don't even get that opportunity, and a lot of them quit. So if you love this art, keep finding ways to do it. As hard as it may be, find a way to keep up with it. Educate yourself, take classes. Even if you're not booking, take classes, you know, try to get auditions, and hopefully one day things will start picking up for you.
There you go. I mean, it's especially impressive as well that you were able to, I mean, you had such a terrible lapse in judgment in airport security that, I mean, you were actually able to get that they trusted you with another opportunity.
Well, I mean, they trusted me enough to make me a communications officer on a space station.
There you go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I
Redemption.
redeemed myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I worked my way back up from the bottom and ended up in space.
There you
go, people. You see that? That's the whole journey right there.
I think that's really cool that you, going back, I guess, to resolutions and stuff, is goal setting. And like you talked about it with Star Trek, right? Like you knew this was what you wanted and you did everything that you could to make that goal happen. So what can you share maybe some goals that you have for 2023?
One of my goals is, let's say, and it's been a goal for a while now, is to book a more major voiceover role. Now, prior to joining the union, I was predominantly a voiceover artist. I did a lot of commercials. I did sponsor reading for different like street festivals and stuff.
That's cool.
I also did a lot of indie like video games and cartoons. But once I joined the union, competition is different, and breaking into the union voiceover community is very difficult. But basically, my voiceover career disappeared altogether once I joined the union. And my film and TV career, on the other hand, you know, took a while, but is doing well. And it's not like I haven't booked any voiceover whatsoever, but it's only been like 2 gigs. One is like I don't even know if you can call it a podcast, like a narrative, it's a narrative story thingy where I played a character in the story, and I don't even know if it's ever going to be released.
Like a radio play type
it's like
thing?
A radio play, yeah, but with like sound effects, like really high quality engineering on it, sound engineering. It's just, I've never been able to find any more information about it, so I can't really talk about it. But yeah, I did that, and that was phenomenal. It was a lot of fun, but I have nothing to show for it. And then part of the commercial booking that I got for an adult video game company included voice work, which is now in my demo reel.
Okay, there you go.
When you're talking about sexy video games, but that's it, right? And so I have been training in voice. The only thing I still don't have is a proper animation voice demo, and that's probably something I'm going to have made this year. Part of my issue is I am very much an in studio kind of voice actor. And one of the difficulties was during the pandemic, I couldn't, like, whatever courses I took were online, obviously, right? And I did a lot of work online, but am I going to record my own animation voice demo at home? I don't want to. I'd prefer to go to a studio, like when I did my commercial voiceover demo, go to a studio, have the coach there, have the engineer there, and we talk it over, get redirected, and then record on their equipment and have them do the editing instead of me doing it, just because I don't feel like the quality that I would be able to create for animation demo is good enough. But now that we're, you know, getting back to a state where that is possible, and studios are now offering the in-studio recording experience, I'm going to have to save up some money because it's not cheap to go to one of the studios and get an animation demo made. But to that end, I'm still training, I'm still working on it, and my agents are still pushing me for animation. Like, I just got my first anime audition ever.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I saw you posted about that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, like, anime has been something I've always wanted to do voices in, and I know I can do it. I just don't feel like I have a submission package that proves that I can. And so even if, let's say, they look through, they listen to my audition, they might be like, wow, I really like him. Then they go and look at my resume and there's very little on it, right? To support booking me. So for now, it's a matter of work. If I book this anime, though, that would be amazing.
That's awesome. Actually, I was just talking to my coworkers. I'm like, I want to do voice acting, but then I was like, just kidding. I don't like my voice enough to want to do voice acting.
I like your voice, by the way.
I think you have a nice voice.
A very nice voice.
I hate listening to my voice.
Well, I think most of us hate listening to our own voices and watching ourselves on screen.
Yeah. But no, I think you have. I mean, I've heard it enough.
I think actually, so I don't do I used to do resolutions, but this year I used to do vision boards. And so this year I created a new vision board on my phone and I actually put voice acting on it.
Oh,
nice.
So 2023 voice acting?
Maybe. I mean, I've done one, the voiceover for that.
I remember that
commercial. And I remember struggling so hard because they're like, do another voice. I'm like, I'm not a voice actor. I don't know what other voice you want. This is my voice.
That's cool. Okay.
Michael, tell me, let's link up after this. I want to know what courses you did. Keep me accountable. Maybe that's what I need, is accountability.
Well, look up Kim Hurdon, KIMHURDON. She is a casting director in Toronto. Her studio does a lot of stuff, but she also has courses. And in my personal opinion, Kim Hurdon's courses are some of the best out there.
How do you spell Hurdon?
HURDON.
I personally believe that also the demos that her studio makes are top notch, and she, like, Kim Hurdon is where I'm gonna go when I do my animation demo.
Kim Hurdon casting?
Must be it. Yeah. She's looking it up right. Now.
Keep me accountable.
So
cool.
Kim Hurdon's just amazing. Like, her and some of the teachers she brings in to teach her courses are just so good.
Awesome.
Like, I got Carolee Larson when I did the commercial course, and she just really upped my game. So that is why, you know, right now I have a commercial credit for voiceover, which cannot go on a resume because commercials don't go on resume, but still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. You just put commercials available upon request. And then you write at the bottom, please request it. Just request it. So Scott, what are some goals? I know you talked about it on your stream the other day when I jumped on and said hello. Some of my goals?
Yeah.
Well, I want to do more. So for the YouTube channel, I plan to do a lot more musical theater type songs.
That's awesome.
Because I would like to have those out there so that my agent can then use them to potentially get me some more musical theater type auditions.
And I think that's great because I know I put this in the chats when you were streaming, but I was watching one of your latest videos and I'm like, why is Scott not on Broadway?
I mean,
like, why?
I mean, there's a lot of,
because he lives here.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in NYC, but even just musical theater in general, the competition's very
But
stiff.
would you
but
do Broadway if given the opportunity?
Yeah.
Like
in a
if someone's
heartbeat.
like, here's like this role for Limes, would you take it?
Oh yes, in a heartbeat. So yeah, so one of the goals is to get a larger breadth of work out there.
Mhm.
So that would be the main one, I think. So yeah, I just did empty chairs at empty tables, and I'm hoping to do a bunch more. So
That's awesome.
more coming down.
I
Like,
also
I
want to
can-
give it.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to shout out Jason DeLine, who's one of my teachers for voice acting. He's an incredible voice actor. He's Dragonoid or Drago from Bakugan.
Oh, that's cool.
I took his like 1 year pandemic course. Now I must admit that I wasn't in class a lot because of all the tragedies that happened in my family that year. But I have been going through the course material since, now that the course is over, but I still have access to it. And it's been really helping me train to improve my voice for animation. But Jason is a phenomenal teacher and a phenomenal voice actor, and I would highly recommend him. I do believe he's in Vancouver though, so any training he gives you will be online.
Cool.
But he is just the best.
Nice.
There you go. There's two. Let's do it.
Here I am, like maybe, and you're like, here, take it awesome.
There you go.
Hey, I'm always very, very, very supportive. Like if my wife wants to be a non-union voice actor, mind you, she loves animation, but right now I feel like her voice is better suited for commercials, and she's already done like a couple of pet products commercials.
Awesome.
So yeah, and you know, anyone who wants to get into this, I'm very supportive of. I mean, I occasionally teach business of acting, so yeah. If you need help, I will be there, and I will be
Sweet.
Be
supportive.
careful what you say.
Yeah.
Oh, I expect to see you in my DMs ASAP.
No. Sorry.
Like very, very soon.
You know what? I think maybe it's being at Disney. We're hearing like all the like da 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 da. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be a Disney voice actor. You know how sick that would be. I want
That
to
would
be
be
like.
amazing.
I want to be.
You want to hear a funny story from Disney back in 2020?
Yeah.
It's like a month before lockdown.
Oh,
My
no.
family was in Orlando at Disney, and I was alone in line for the Millennium Falcon ride because
Did I do that one?
Yeah, I think you
because
do. Yeah.
because of my daughter, obviously we had to take turns, right? So like I took her, and then my wife went on it, and then we switched. Anyway, so I got this massive edition that required me to memorize like 3 pages of Cantonese, and part of the issue is like I speak Cantonese, but I don't read Cantonese.
Oh, okay.
And so I had my dad help me translate everything, and then I was learning my lines while I was in line for the Millennium Falcon. And can you imagine just all the white people around me with COVID being talked about in the news, listening to me speak in Cantonese, mumbling in Cantonese for 45 minutes straight.
They're probably like,
I had like a bubble essentially around me. Like people didn't want to come near me, and I didn't care because all I cared
That's what
about
he's
was
talking
A,
about.
getting on this ride because I want to be on it, and B, learning my freaking lines while I'm on vacation.
this ride, right?
Yeah,
I went
loved
on
it.
that one. I went
It
on
was
that
so
one.
good.
It made
And,
me
like,
sick.
Yeah.
I get motion sickness.
Me too.
So I have a funny story
No.
about that one. We'll talk about it when you're done your story. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, my daughter, we had like a little Baby Yoda hat for her, and I had her in a sling. So it's like I was Luke with Yoda. So, but people didn't care about me. Everyone cared about the little Baby Yoda that I
Of
carried around.
course. There
Just
was
that.
a lot of Baby Yoda, like Grogu merch when I was there. I was just there. But
Yeah.
so the Millennium Falcon, that's the one where you have like there's like 3 rows, and then one is like the flyer, the gunner, and the engineer or whatever. The people.
I think I was the engineer.
So
When
I was the gunner, and so they're like,
Nice.
"Hey, just press the square that's lit up." I was not listening. They're like, I heard press the square. So there's a bunch of squares. So like, okay, I'm just pressing the square. And my husband goes, Regine, press the one that's lit. And I'm like, that makes more sense. Duh.
So you guys got shot down. The gunner wasn't doing their job.
I eventually caught on. I was like, oh, because he's looking. I'm like, how come there's nothing coming from her side, but you can hear me clicking? Never have me as a gunner, because I'm just like, oh, here's a square. I'm gonna press this one.
I wish being a gunner was that easy though. Press the square, it will shoot.
Press the square or press the circle. So it's like boom, and then you just see it go. Okay, can I just say to all of our viewers, and Scott, you hear me talk about this all the time.
Huh.
So I am not a Star Wars person, nor am I a Harry Potter person.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so glad that I watched some Star Wars and all of Harry Potter, because I geeked out in Diagon Alley, and I did not geek out, but I was kind of like, oh my god, look, it's the Millennium Falcon. Like, I knew what I was talking about, and I felt so proud of myself, and you would have been so proud of me too. So
awesome. Yeah, I have to go. So you guys have both been, you both recommend going to Disney Star Wars?
Yes. It's just 100%. Disney is I think now way more expensive than pre-pandemic. So
okay.
So they actually changed the pricing.
Again?
They changed it to where, based on when you go, the price will, like, if you go on like the busier times, obviously it'll be more expensive. If it's downtime, it won't be as expensive.
Is the meal plan back or not?
We didn't do a meal plan.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of the things that when we were trying to like book stuff, they're like, oh, meal plan is not whatever. So
okay. Well, one of these days, did you make a lightsaber when you were there?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah,
you can make your own droid too.
Because I kind of want, although I actually think you can get lightsabers from some places that are like even better than the ones that they have there. Like you can get some like pretty hardcore like.
But you can also just go to Disney Spring and make your own if you don't want to.
What's Disney Spring?
It's like a downtown Disney where you can go.
Wait, it's not downtown Disney anymore?
It's Disney Spring. That's what it's called. So that you can actually go.
Wait, this is a store at Disneyland or?
No, it's like its own downtown property where you have different, I think there's like 3 Star Wars themed stores.
Oh.
There's like a giant Disney store that I got lost in, and I forgot where I was and who I was with. Like, I lost my husband enough times. Like, I have a picture of it. I have like 5 mini ears in my hand because I wanted all of them, and I got super overwhelmed.
So did you come back with like just a suitcase full of Disney stuff?
Oh, I got this sweater there. I should have brought my mini ears, but it was just like if I didn't check-in luggage, yes.
Then you would have.
But because I didn't.
Oh, okay. You had to. Yeah.
I got 2 Disney ears. I got this sweater. I got an ornament and a bunch of other stuff.
So you basically were constricted to stuff that would fit in your carry-on luggage.
I purposely left empty space in my husband's hand carries.
Husband's luggage.
You were like, you don't need another shirt.
Yeah,
no,
like you don't need.
Why are you bringing
the same pair of pants?
Why are you bringing that?
One pair of underwear and one pair of socks.
Well, where we were staying also had a laundry thing, so you really didn't.
You can wash your underwear every night.
Exactly.
In fact, maybe you shouldn't bring, honey. You shouldn't bring anything. Actually, maybe just bring a suitcase though. Well, I might bring a suitcase.
Buy you a new shirt and some shorts.
Exactly. But apparently, if you go to Disney or like any of those theme parks dressed indecently, they will give you a free T-shirt.
Really?
So you could have just gone and been like, oh, I forgot my shirt today, guys.
Are you suggesting I test this theory? Just go there like almost naked and see if they give me a free shirt?
Yes.
Just watch. I'll be in the news. Florida man kicked out of Disney for being
or
indecent.
like have like a cutout shirt and just like have your nipples exposed, like the Regina George.
You're like, hey, this isn't indecent. This is my. Oh well, if you say so, I'll take a T-shirt if you say so.
I'll just be topless and then have like nipple covers. One is Scott's face and one is your face, Regine. Just
No, they should be like Minnie and Mickey. So you're still going to the theme of Disney. Or
fine. I'll have both of you of Minnie and Mickey.
Minnie and Mickey ears.
Or you could have like, depending on what park you go to. So if you're gonna go back to Galaxy's Edge, you could have like Baby Yoda and Mando.
No, what we'll do is we'll add those we'll add those nipple covers to our merch store. You'll be able to get
Shouldn't I
Scott
have
and Regine.
that thing from when Luke was like milking those, getting the blue milk. So
Yeah.
I have the actual thing.
Oh my god,
And my
I'm dead.
nipple is the.
Did you
the
have
other.
blue milk while you were there? Because I did.
Yes.
What did it taste like?
It tasted like muted blue raspberry.
Yeah.
What do you mean
it was
muted?
It was
Like, it
like a
wasn't
berry drink.
Yeah,
Oh.
it wasn't like super sweet, but you
'Cause I
can
went
get
to
rum
the-
in it. So
I
that's
went
what
to
we
the
did.
bar, like the place where you had to like essentially get I think it was a reservation.
Which one was it?
I forgot. It was like in the middle, like it's near the Millennium Falcon, but it's like a bar. It's like the whole
Mm.
experience. They have animatronics and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. We didn't go there, but I know.
So
what
I
you're
did
talking
that.
about.
So I got like a bunch of their amazing drinks and food and
Mhm.
snacks, and I got the blue milk as well.
We ate at. I have no idea what it's called, but it was cool because like it was like you were immersed in like a actual. Did I not send you the video? Because an
I don't know.
actual. I have pictures. Why am I talking about it? But it's cool because then you can hear like you're eating, but then you can hear like ships all around you, and you're like,
Oh, that's
"Whoa, what is that?"
Because I saw like
yeah,
it literally looks like you're just that's the idea. You're in Star Wars. You're in the universe. You're just walking around in Star Wars. In Star Wars.
like I
Oh,
was
yeah.
there 10 years ago, and it was not the same as it is now.
it's
Now
gotten way better?
cool. Yeah, now it's cool. Before it was
I
like,
liked the Avatar world.
I didn't go to Pandora.
Okay, Pandora was beautiful, and my daughter loved the boat ride because
Aw.
it's so like like with all the glow in the dark stuff and
Oh,
black
you did
light.
Animal
and-
Kingdom.
We did, yeah, but it was also a slower ride.
Mm-hmm.
So for her to process it was easier.
Mm-hmm.
It was just chill, and she just everything was so beautiful. I remember she was just so excited. So we went more than once on that ride just because it was like her favorite thing in the world.
Did you do Small World?
Yeah, it's another of her favorites.
I
and it's
love
my,
that
It's
ride.
my favorite.
I went on when I first went with my family. We maybe went on 2 or 3 times, and then I went on this time, and we actually got my family a ornament of "It's a Small World."
Oh, nice.
I
Is
have 2 of the dolls that sing.
Cool. Is Pandora? It's like it's at the same place as Star Wars. You can walk over to it, like it's all attached to
No,
each
it's
other.
No, it's in a different theme park. It's the Animal Kingdom theme park,
Oh, I
Look at
see.
the restaurant.
Whoa.
Hear people
which, by
use
the way, has the
restaurant.
Yeti ride, which is, in my opinion, one of the best coasters they have.
Is that Pandora?
No, it's Animal Kingdom. They have
Oh.
the Yeti, and it is so.
I like
good.
Animal Kingdom. We
Me
only
too.
I've gone through all the parks, and I definitely when we went this time, we only did Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. I think the one thing about Magic Kingdom for me is it hasn't changed since I've been there. So to me, it's like the castle has changed, so
Mm.
that was magical for me, but everything else stayed the same. So
Yeah,
So-
Magic Kingdom is relatively unchanged. There are a few things here and there, but yeah, it's mostly unchanged. Everything else is changing. Like Epcot has been losing a lot of their sponsors, so they had to change a
Why?
lot.
I think it's genius that Epcot does a lot of those food festivals.
Oh my god, I used to go with my wife just for that.
I think it's genius.
It's great.
So you can
eat,
what's
eat
the
and drink all over the world.
Oh, I remember heard of that. See, I haven't been to either of these places. I think I was like 2 or 3 years old, so I have zero memory of any of it.
You need
I
to
don't know if
go.
they had that back then, but Epcot has like the World Showcase, so it's like different countries
Oh.
in a semicircle,
Mhm.
and I love Canada because I'm
Of
actually
course.
Canadian,
Yeah.
and I just giggle because I'm like this is what this
This
is
what
really
you think
what you think we
Canada is?
are.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
it's not accurate?
That's very stereotypical.
So what, like syrup?
Lumberjacks, beavers, moose.
But what do you eat? What's the food?
No, they have like poutine and
Steak.
stuff.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
I went to their thing. They had steak. They do actually have poutine. Not as good as real poutine.
Mm.
And some maple syrupy. I'm talking mainly about their restaurant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't normally, during the World Showcase, Canada's the one place I skip.
I was gonna say, if you go to Epcot, I remember I went again 10 years ago, and I did not. I just skipped through.
Like, I've been there.
I'm like, I'm from there.
I know that one.
I will say they have this. I don't want to. It's like a show. It's like inside. It's like a theater. You stand, and then like the entire ceiling. It's like all around. It's a show about Canada.
Ew.
And like it just gives you an overview of our country. And I
Beautiful.
always laugh because once they get to Toronto, you can see the condo where I used to live.
Oh,
So I'm like,
That's cool.
hey, it's my home, former home.
you know what I'm
Yay."
curious about? If they're gonna turn Canada, like if they add like turning red into the Toronto part of it.
Dear God.
Oh.
Now we're
I
gonna
mean-
have a bunch of Chinese lanterns everywhere.
Yes, but I mean, because like that movie just came out. It's
Oh no,
clearly Toronto.
it would be nice. It's just there was never ever in any part of history where Chinatown had that many red lanterns.
No.
Or any red lanterns.
They don't.
That's true.
But I mean, it
So-
is an animated.
Oh no, I'm not complaining. I just find it funny that for Middle America's sake, they always have to put red lanterns in every single movie and show to denote China as something.
Yeah.
Chinese this, Chinese that, red lanterns.
It's
Like
true.
guys, get it.
Mhm. Did you
Yeah.
do Universal when you went to Orlando?
Yes.
Did you do two
not,
parks
Not with
or
not
one?
with my kid. The time
Mm.
before we had my daughter, we went.
The
So
one-
it was like the early stages of Harry Potter, like really early.
Mm.
There was very little.
The one thing I regret is not doing two parks one day. I did
You-
one park
You think it was better? It would have been better to do 2 in a day.
100% because they connect Diagon Alley and Hogwarts with a train ride, but
Okay.
Hogwarts is on the other park,
Oh,
so you
Ah.
don't get the full experience of that whole Harry Potter experience.
Okay.
But then the
We
other
only
park,
did Islands
ahead.
of Adventure is all we did.
so that's the one where Hogwarts is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then,
I
that's all
see.
they had.
Well, now
Oh,
they
okay.
have Dr. Seuss stuff, and they also have Marvel, and that's where I wanted to go, and I ended up on the other side.
so you didn't get to go to that other side at all.
No,
You have to go back, Regine,
I do. That is also on my
on your goals list.
vision board. Yes,
I got to go to this places. I
you
gotta go visit.
do.
I'll
We
go
should
check it
do
out.
a show in universe
That would be sweet. That would be
This
really
sit
cool.
down in Orlando.
with Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh wait, you were gonna tell me I forgot. You got in trouble with Darth Vader. Darth Vader got mad at you.
I did. I got in so much trouble. Well, not so much trouble, but so the lady said, okay, first off, we had t-shirts and our lightsaber was green. So that got us attention with Darth Vader first off. And then I had my mini ears that had a crown on it. So everyone was like, oh, she's with the princess.
Okay.
And then third, so the person that worked there was like, okay, Darth Vader's going to come and get you. Put your bags on this side. And then when he tells you to go. So I was like, okay. So we're standing there and he's like this tall, like you hear or whatever noise he makes. Yeah, that noise.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Oh,
I don't know
not
anything.
not sucking up ramen noodles. Okay.
And so he goes, so he stands where I'm supposed to put my bag. And so he's telling us to go. And I'm like, do I tell this guy to move so I can put my bag there? Do I go around him? I'm like, I'm now set up for failure. And I already knew it the minute he stood there and would not move. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put my bag here instead. So the opposite direction of where I was supposed to put it. And then I just stood where he told us to stand. And I guess I was standing in his spot. So he told me to move. And I'm like, okay.
It's like move aside.
And so I moved, and then he was pointing at my bag being on
Oh,
the wrong
he didn't talk.
side.
He didn't say anything.
He was making those breathing noises,
Yeah.
and so then I was just like, "Oh crap, I'm in trouble!" Like I knew that it was a setup from the get-go. Clearly, he wouldn't move where I would put my bag. So then I was like, "Okay," so I got my bag and moved it, and then like the pictures of us, like he's literally just giving me hell. Like he's just like, you can see it in my face that I'm like, this man does not like me at all. Oh my god.
Don't upset Vader.
Yeah, I scared Snow White.
You scared Snow White?
So at one of those sit down meals where they have princess actors,
Mm-hmm.
there was a Snow White there, and she comes to my wife and I, and back then we were celebrating our anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "So how did you meet?" And I was like, "I caught her in my net." I was like, straight faced, which by the way is true. I think I told you guys, right? I met her at a Halloween party.
Yeah,
where
I remember that.
games for Pokemon at a fishing net, and she was
Mhm.
Ash. And anyways, so I said that, and Jess is like, like that's hilarious.
Nonchalant.
And Snow White's like, oh,
Okay, bye.
like I think I broke the actor. She didn't know. She's like, that's nice. Hi.
And she's probably looking at Jess
Like,
and being like,
walked away,
blink
like,
twice
I
if
don't
you
know
need
what to
help.
do with this. I'm just leaving. I can't improv with this.
Oh my god. We did the restaurant with the Winnie the Pooh characters.
Oh, I've always
Yeah.
wanted to go to that. Was it good?
I've been there twice. The food was delicious.
So they come up and talk to you?
Well, they don't talk. They're
What do you mean Pooh talks like, hi, I'm
Generally, they don't talk.
they
Oh.
don't talk.
The only time they talk is the new animatronic ones, the ones
Mhm.
with the helmets. I think it's just Mickey though.
Yeah, they don't. They have their assistants do the talking for you,
But
for them. Like their hand gestures are very
okay.
like, interactive.
I was just gonna say because every Pooh character talks.
And I'm just here like, so I was wondering, I'm like, is Tigger gonna bounce around? But he did bouncing contests with a lot of the kids.
But he
which was
mostly
cool.
just walked.
Yeah, and took pictures, and it was cute to see like kids get scared of them. And I'm like, oh my god, here comes Dior.
Erin, my daughter loves all the characters
I love Winnie the Pooh.
because they've come to life for her. So
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I love Winnie the Pooh.
Did you hear he just went in public domain? Winnie the Pooh is just in,
which
Yeah.
is why there's like a horror film, right? Which I
Oh,
really
maybe
want.
that's why.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, it's basically like so anything that's specifically added to it by Disney is not public domain, but the original character from like the book, I guess, is now in the public domain, so anybody could make Winnie the Pooh themed stories.
Yeah, so it's Winnie. I
there
don't
you
know
go.
if you can see it. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey,
There you go.
coming out this year.
Yeah, so that's probably exactly it. Yeah, that's probably why. I didn't. It
February
didn't occur to me, but yeah.
15th.
Stay tuned on Michael's podcast. I'm sure you talk
And
about it
it's
there.
now feral and bloodthirsty. Winnie the Pooh and Piglet terrorize Christopher Robin and a group of young women at a remote house.
Holy crap! Yeah, no, thank you. I'm gonna stick to my 100-acre woods.
Good wholesome
review.
family fun. Actually,
Stay
probably. would
tuned for our review on the Hellbound podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
be. Exactly.
Well, can I ask? I don't know if I've asked this or if I can ask this. So you've had a podcast prior, which Scott and I were on.
Correct.
What happened to it? If you don't mind me asking. If you mind,
No,
you can just say
I don't mind. So
about
we
it.
made it to episode 50,
Mhm.
which we're very, very proud of. But that year was the worst year of my life, right?
Mm.
My wife and I had to terminate a baby,
Mhm.
which is one of the hardest things we've ever had to do. She was never going to have a good life.
Mm.
She had a lot of problems. So if we had brought that baby, if that baby even survived to term, because the baby could have passed away, like
That would have been
inside
so hard.
my
Yeah.
wife.
Gee.
So if we brought the baby to term, the chances of that baby actually living very long was low, like very low. So we made the decision to terminate, and that was bad enough. And then my mom passed away like 2.5 months later. So
Gosh.
I had lost basically the will to do a lot of things.
Mm.
I don't even know how I was able to make it through any of the auditions because I told my agent I needed time off. I could
Yeah.
not edition, I had no creativity left in me. Like the only thing I really was doing at that time was TikTok. And the whole reason why, if you watch my TikTok, you'll notice I do a lot of dad jokes.
Yeah.
And I say it with this kind of like dead-eyed, straight-faced, monotone voice. The reason why I do that now and why it's a gimmick now is because when I was doing it back then, I literally had nothing. I had I couldn't feel. So I just wanted to do something, anything. So I started telling dad jokes on TikTok really poorly, but I guess people like it. But I couldn't. I tried to keep up with the podcast, and it just wasn't working for me. And since I was the editor, and I did the uploader, I did a lot of the marketing, and I paid for it as well. I had no will. So I told my co-host that we had to stop. After 50, we had to stop. Like we were gonna stop at 49, but our episode 50 guest was such a big get that I just had to do that one before we stopped.
Was 50 the one Scott and I were on? Is that why it was such a
I wish it was. That you guys would have been a great 51. No, it was a TikToker that I had discovered. Short man. He's a great comedian. Great story. Moving here from Africa. So like so I did it more just because I felt like that was an important story, and I was such a big fan of his work because Short Man's comedy on TikTok was one of the only things that made me smile. That we had to do that interview. But after that, we took a hiatus at first. It was just going to be a hiatus, an indefinite hiatus. But I never found the passion to go back to it once it was over. And then I don't know, Alex came along later in the year and was like, I have this idea for a podcast, and I know you have stopped podcasting, Michael, but you don't have to do any of the work in terms of editing and all that. You just show up and record of me and whatever. You don't even have to say a lot. So I'm like, okay, sure, why not? And I don't know, like Alex and I are really, really good friends. So just being there with him on Hellbound just, I don't know, brought back, I guess, my love of podcasting. But at the present, I still don't have the will to actually be an editor of a podcast or produce a podcast.
Fair enough.
So that's how the previous one ended. Just I don't have the will to go back. I still don't.
So question though, on your new podcast, do you still talk with your mouth full from time to time, or?
There are times where I'm eating, yes.
Love that. It's your signature thing now.
A lot of times, okay, here's the thing. Alex is in the UK. I'm here. So if I wanted to do the podcast when my kids are in bed, it's like
Early
he should be
morning.
asleep.
Yeah.
Like it's not fair to him. So usually it's after I drop my daughter at school, I come home and it'll be a morning time. So sometimes I am actually eating breakfast or coffee, or on a bad day, energy drink, and I'll make jokes about it. But yeah, I still do episodes of my mouth full. So
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I mean, I didn't realize how deep we were going with that, but thanks for sharing and being so open.
I'm happy to be open about it. Well, I mean, Nightingale, my co-host, my previous co-host, she's gone on to do great things. She has shows that she's produced on TV. Her nonprofit organization has done tremendous work, and they're producing a feature film, I believe, right now to highlight the problems happening in Haiti. So she is quite
Maybe we need to get Nightingale back on.
You should.
We should.
I'm really proud of the work she's done. Obviously, time away from the podcast, just she's spent that energy right on trying to promote stories and stuff on elsewhere, and it's brought about some incredible work. So yeah, you should definitely reach out to her, because I think Nightingale is an incredible producer right now. And
cool.
I'll reach out.
All right. Yeah. Good idea. Are you guys?
And Alex Blackburn, if you want. Alex Blackburn, my current co-host, he's just doing incredible work in the UK, and yeah, he being a festival producer is not easy. So, like, I think he would make a good guest as well.
Let's connect.
Let's do that. Let's make it happen. Have you guys heard of Barefoot? Yeah. Sorry.
One last recommendation is my best friend Katisha Shaw, who you've had with me before.
Oh yeah.
He is the co-owner of Psycho Palm Dreams Entertainment, the lead in Fishbowl, and so
stay tuned for all three of those guests coming later, 2023. Everybody. Have you guys heard of Barefoot shoes? Have you heard of these?
It sounds
yes,
familiar.
I have them.
You have them? Okay, good.
They're the wraps.
Yeah. So the ones that I just got a pair. Speaking of 2023 new things for 2023. So I started seeing videos. You know how like through the pandemic, I jumped on a whole bunch of new things. So this is like the newest one that I saw. So basically the whole premise behind Barefoot shoes is that modern shoes are bad for our feet because they're not shaped like our feet.
Fair.
So Barefoot shoes, and I brought mine so that I could show you guys them.
The toe ones is what the one you have, right?
Yeah, well, actually, no, they don't have individual toes, these ones. But the thing that makes these Barefoot shoes is that they're not round. So these are actually shaped like a foot. Whereas like regular shoes, they kind of push in here, and so they kind of squeeze our feet together. So these shoes are shaped in a way that is naturally the shape of our feet, among other things. And also they're very flexible. Look.
So they actually, because
I've worn them a
Barefoot
few
makes
times around.
a bunch of different ones. I think the ones people might know the most are the ones with the individual toes. That some people are like, ew, gross.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Meanwhile, when I was training a lot more, before I gained what I call my grief, I have a dad bod right now. I'm no longer super fit like I was pre-pandemic.
Your dad.
No, I was never
so dad.
It is so dad. After mom passed away, I don't know. I stopped, but then I got a lead role in the show as a dad, so
it worked
with this body, so I'm happy about it. But anyways, I was wearing barefoot wraps in the gym because I'm a little flat-footed. So to rebuild the arch, I have to basically either be completely barefoot in the gym or have very little support, which is why Converse, like old school Chucks, are good because they're just flat, right?
Yeah.
And
so
very little support.
That's the other thing I found out. Because everybody thinks if you have low arches or whatever, that you should wear those shoes that'll float. I actually do, I think. But apparently that's the other thing. So the other thing that makes it a barefoot shoe, there's like 3 or 4 things. So one is that it's shaped like a foot so that it doesn't squish your feet. It lets them have the natural spread.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The second thing is, like you mentioned with Chucks, is that it's a 0 drop heel. So there's no elevation. So that way your feet are naturally walking. Also, the reason I can squish these is because it's a thinner sole so that you can feel more of the earth beneath you. And what was the other thing? So there was
really hyped about these shoes.
I'm pretty so these are the cheapest ones that you can get. They were like 50 bucks on Amazon.
That's not bad.
But what I want to do is like the only thing I don't like about them is that they don't look like this doesn't look like a normal shoe. And they make barefoot shoes that look like normal shoes, except for the shape. Like the shape is a giveaway because of this weird, like it's not round.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are I'm going to be experimenting. I've walked around with them so far. I find them comfortable, but I also wonder now, because I was wearing Chucks, I'm already used to a 0 drop heel. Yeah. Whereas it might have been a more adjustment if I wasn't, if I was wearing something like a heeled shoe. So
meanwhile.
I'm a heel.
Off screen for a second. This is what I bought for myself for my own birthday.
Oh yeah! Happy belated birthday!
Whoa!
Oh, those are cool.
Those look like something from the Enterprise.
Yeah, these are Adidas shoes. It's like a foam rubber exterior with a sock interior.
Oh. Well, first off, happy belated birthday. My goodness. You just this is your birthday special on the sit down.
Is there something what's the is there some cool technology behind the shoes, or is it more just like they look awesome?
I don't even know if there was cool technology. It was just looked so cool that I had to get them.
They look like spaceships.
Actually, I just got my first pair of Under Armour shoes this past.
Nice.
And they have they're pink with flowers on it, so I had to get.
Wow! So we're all upgrading our footwear in
look at
2023.
us.
Yeah.
It's a 2023.
If I walk a red carpet, I might even try to style them. Ha ha.
You can. I mean, it's not. I could see you doing it. It matches your sweater too, with a pop of orange.
Although I do own the Strange New Worlds official Fluvog boots, so you never know. Maybe I'll wear Star Trek boots on
Star Trek. Yeah.
You should if it's a Star Trek red carpet.
Red carpet. Yeah.
Like I've actually dreamed about going on a red carpet, but wearing a Star Trek inspired, and it's not just for Trek, just for anything,
like a suit,
but a Star Trek inspired outfit.
Yeah, because there are, especially in the films, they have scenes where they're like at a party and they're wearing like, Federation, like formal wear. Like it's not just like a straight up uniform. It's like the dress version of things.
Yeah.
So that would be so cool.
I've never walked a red carpet. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, not giant ones, but I've walked a couple premieres of things. And
Well, you guys are actors, so it makes sense.
I walked a black carpet.
That counts.
It's
That
a
counts.
carpet.
Well,
I walked on a
the
carpet.
show. Oh, yeah, I don't think we talked about this. I was in Ezra, the Out TV show.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've never seen it, but I've heard
it
of it.
premiered last year. It's streaming the whole first season is streaming on Out TV on Amazon Prime right now. I play the dad of one of the leads.
Oh, nice.
I think I've seen you post about it.
Yeah. So Ezra is kind of like it's a queer vampire love story with action.
And that one had a black carpet.
Well, yes, because their backdrop was on the stage, and then the carpet they had in front of it was black to match the aesthetic.
Oh,
yeah. So I got to go on that one, and then I was on the black carpet at the New York City Horror Film Festival as well, because they had a red and black backdrop, and then they put a black carpet down. So I've done 2.
Nice.
I think a friend of mine was also on that show, or someone I know.
On Ezra?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a great show. I recommend everyone watch it. Like, it has a good mix of comedy and like intense drama action. And for the lower budget that it was made on, they had some incredible special effects, and the cinematography is stunning.
Sweet.
So you said it's on Out TV?
Out TV.
It's on Out TV on Amazon Prime. So I think if you have Amazon Prime,
I do.
you can subscribe to the Out TV channel, I think you call it. I haven't tried that yet.
I did that for I think I did that to watch Drag Race Thailand.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's what I did, and I just canceled my subscription before it was over, or before I was
Out
charged
TV.
for it.
No, Out TV has a lot of good stuff, and mind you, I'm biased. I think Ezra's the best, and I'm hoping for season 2. Come on, season 2 of Ezra.
Let's go.
Because
cool.
Ezra is also like a quarter episode length, so you have like 1 hour full length, half hour, half length. But yeah, so Ezra's only like 15 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
That's the amount of money they had. Still, it's an incredible show. It's been nominated for a few Canadian Screen Awards as well.
Sweet.
So it's an award-nominated show, and they need funding, and hopefully they've got it, because I know that the showrunner Luke wants to make it a half-hour show. Which I think is very doable, and hopefully they like myself and Ginny Wong, who plays my wife. I hope they like us and our chemistry and want us to come back. Right?
Make
Luke?
it happen, people.
Right, Chelsea?
There you go. Tune in. Find him there on Out TV. Oh, Greg Nagara's in the chat. Hey guys, long time.
Greg!
Hope you're all well.
Hey!
We haven't had Greg or any
Yeah,
Latin
well-
Train Trio, or even Siggy Music on.
Yeah, we gotta get Greg back on here. I know because Greg was quite
Busy
busy
on
on Sundays.
Sundays.
Usually busy Sundays.
Greg, are you still busy Sundays?
But yeah, we gotta get you back on here. It's been too long,
It's
Greg.
been
too long.
like pre-pandemic since they've been on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because we had Latin
Yeah.
Train Trio on, and they performed.
Yeah, they performed live on the show. That's right.
before, I think it was our Valentine's Day special.
Oh, I don't remember that, but yeah, that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure it was.
All right, yeah, we'll be in touch, Greg. Michael, we're almost at the 2-hour mark.
Jeez.
Whoa!
You know, we just
I didn't
keep
even
on
look at the
rolling.
time. Wow.
We just keep on rolling. But why don't you tell us, where can people find you on the social media landscape?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at my handle at Michael CW Chan. I also have a website, which is michaelchan.ca, or look me up on Internet Movie Database. I am Michael Chan, number 11.
Oh, there you go.
There are a lot of Michael Chans.
That I'm surprised that
best
you were
one.
able to get on michaelchan.ca, Jermaine. That's good for you.
You know how long? Oh God, it took me 10 years.
Wow.
Man.
It took me. The guy who used to own michaelchan.ca, I got in touch with him. He's from Hong Kong, and I was like, "Hey, you're not doing anything with this. Can I have it?" And he's
Wait,
like,
how did you
"No."
know who he was?
I looked him up.
Yeah,
I went to michaelchan.ca. He had just one page with his contact info, and that's it. Like,
Do
there's
you have
nothing
a
on there.
Scott Dion Brown?
So I
I have
emailed him.
.com, yeah.
And I actually got to know that Michael Chan. This is like well over 16 years ago.
Mhm.
And the guy was nice, but then turned out to be a troll because he started handing out my email address at weddings he went to. So I started getting all the wedding photos that were meant for him. And I would email these people. I'm like, "Hey, I know my name is Michael Chan, but I'm not that Michael Chan. You got the wrong Michael Chan." And they're like, "Oh, Michael, you troll, you joker. You're always playing games." I'm like,
Games
"No,
on you.
no, I'm serious.
Let me
I'm
send
not
you a
Michael Chan."
selfie.
And they're like, "Oh, you're such a joker." So he's known to his friends as a joker, and so they don't even believe me that I'm not him. Anyways, it took a long time, 10 years of waiting before one day, him and I stopped talking, but like one day, I noticed that it came up on a GoDaddy, so I bought it. So
Nice.
That Michael Chan.
So for that, you should all check out michaelchan.ca.
.ca.
A lot of
Yes.
blood, sweat, and tears went into getting that
Yeah.
website
So go check it out.
And wedding photos
and wedding photos.
of not me.
Regine, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on my YouTube channel. We are bringing the pageant sit down back. We were also on a little bit of a hiatus with life being so busy, but we are back this Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, with Miss North Ontario 2022, Grace Webb. So make sure you check it out. Link is in the description. And you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at It's Regine Alaina. Scott,
Yeah.
where can people find you?
You can find me right here. We're watching this very video. YouTube.com/Scott Dion Brown. We passed 3,000 subs recently. Thank you for that. Brand new song cover just came out. Empty Chairs at Empty Tables. I'm working on the next one. It's going to be a Disney song. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's coming. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Scott Dion Brown. And yeah, but YouTube is the best place. YouTube.com/Scott Dion Brown. That's where you get all the music. It's where you get the sit down. It's where you get the gaming. It's where you get all of it. So find me right here. Make sure you hit like on this video, by the way. Also, follow The Sit Down on TikTok, The Sit Down with SDB. On Instagram, The Sit Down with SDB. And on Twitter, Sit Down Scott. Follow them all. And of course, you can also listen to The Sit Down on youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown, as well as on Spotify, and there's a bunch of others.
Just Google us.
There's several that it's on, and I can't remember each one specifically.
That's what I do too. I was like Spotify and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
For my podcast. Yeah.
Wherever you listen to your podcast, I'm sure we're there.
Yeah, it's
If not, tell us so Scott can put us on there.
there you go. Yes. Michael, thank you once again for another wonderful episode.
Well, thank you for having me. I love being here.
It's
We
great to
love
catch up.
having you on.
I'll just go back into your
Yeah.
storage locker now.
Yes, please do. And we'll see you later on.
Whenever we decide
later
to take
on.
you
When you
back out.
decide to let me out.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. Thank you once again for being on every episode, just off camera. this past 2
that's
years.
a-
Watching you every day.
Not creepy at all. But
No.
yes, Michael, thank you again so much for being with us. It's always great listening to what you have to say, seeing what you're up to on social media. Happy birthday once again. It's lovely having you on here. Hopefully, the next film that you're filming in April, we get you on.
Yeah, we'll get you back.
Oh, I would love to talk about it once we're there.
All right, let's make it happen.
Yes.
All right.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all next time. And hit like, hit subscribe, follow everybody you see on the screen, and bye.
Bye.